In this video, I'm going to teach you how to cast on. When you're knitting, you'll see that there's a lot of stitches that are held on one needle, and then as you knit each stitch, they're transferred over to the other. But so far, all we have is a slip knot on this one needle. So in order to have a complete row, we have to do something called casting on, which is where you create your foundation row of stitches that you will then be learning to knit into. So a cast on row is necessary to do for any knitting project that you're going to get started. There's a lot of different types of cast ons out there. We're going to do something called the knitted cast on. We like this cast on because it teaches you the motion of knitting while also giving you a beautiful first row that is good structural integrity so that when you're knitting later, it doesn't start to stretch or loosen out. So it takes a little learning, but you'll get the hang of it very quickly. So you have your slip knot on your left-hand needle, and you're going to get your yarn held in your hand for tension. Taking your right hand needle and with the yarn, with the slip knot up towards the end of your left needle, you're going to come in and bring the right hand needle into the left hand needle, left hand stitch through the stitch from the front to the back, like that. So the stitch is holding your knitting needles in an X shape. Then you're going to hold the needles in place with one hand, and with this hand you're going to wrap counterclockwise around the back needle so that the yarn is coming in between the two needles within one stitch. And then you're going to slide the back needle down to scoop the yarn up in between that one stitch. Draw the new stitch a little longer out. And with the left hand needle, you're going to come into that new stitch like that. And with a little tug, you're going to transfer that stitch onto the left needle. So now I have 2 stitches. I'm going to demonstrate this a few times, so don't feel panicky if that didn't all completely sink in. I'm going to keep showing you. So you take the right hand needle now and you come between the legs, that's what they call. When you're looking at a stitch, you can see that, let's just pull this one off. So it's just the slip knot. These are called the legs of the stitch, where you can see the little gap in between there. So take the right hand needle and pass it between the legs of the stitches so that it comes to the back. Wrap counterclockwise between the two needles, and then pull that yarn to the front through the first stitch. Pull a little extra, and then with the left needle, pick up that new stitch. So now I have 2 stitches on the left hand needle. Make the X shape. Oops. Wrap counterclockwise around. The best way I can describe to maintain what you need to pull that yarn through through the stitch is to keep your needles in a T shape, and with a swooping motion you bring it through to the front and then that new stitch onto the left-hand needle. So the T motion that I mean, they're crossed like this, and when I'm bringing the right-hand needle through the stitch to the front, it's passing underneath this needle and maintaining a point of pressure like that. And that way you can scoop the stitch to the front. So I'm just going to make a few now. And then you can make the stitch pretty nice and loose, the one on the right-hand side, so that it's really easy to catch it onto the left-hand needle. And then you can tighten it by just tugging on the yarn really gently. So front to back between the legs of the stitch, wrap or throw counterclockwise, bring around to the front, and pop it on to the left-hand needle. I'm just going to very quickly go through the motion, making 5 more stitches on my little sample here. And now my sample has 10 stitches on the left-hand side, and this little row that you can see here is what will eventually become your knitting.